Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a subject that has been on my mind for quite some time, but I haven't made the time to sit down, collect my thoughts, and just talk about it in a stream of consciousness just the way I do it. It's about how do you deal with being the spouse of someone who is on a rotation schedule. Before we get to the content, please be sure to like this video. Subscribe so you can get more content in oil and gas and professional development topics. And please be sure to comment on the video below so I can incorporate your feedback into future videos. Please be sure to hit that notification bell when you do subscribe, because I said I was going to upload way more than I used to, and I'm still going to stick to it and commit to that. Well, let's get to the content. As usual, this is going to be a stream of consciousness, like I mentioned before at the very beginning, and I'm just going to go ahead and get to it. So based on the title of this video, you already know that I'm going to talk about how to cope or how to even thrive being the spouse of someone who is on a rotational schedule. Now, for those of you that are in the oil field and know a little bit about who I am, my husband and I both work in oil and gas, and I don't run the rotational schedule, whereas he became a drilling engineer earlier this year, is doing a rotational schedule, meaning that he works 2 weeks on location. So he lives in the field for 2 weeks on the rig, and then he comes back and devotes his time at home. So what that means is he works half the year. And what that also means that I don't get to see him half the time. But what that also means is I get to devote a lot of my time to him half the time. It's definitely impacted us as a couple. And what I mean by that is we got to learn a lot about each other in the process. But what is a marriage that isn't about a learning ordeal, right? So I won't get into that, but what I will talk about is some of the things that I had to go through whenever I was learning about this rotational schedule, how it affected me in terms of him being here half the time and learning how to cope with things being alone, and how to overcome that and where I'm at right now. I'll admit, when he started out on his rotation in January, I was going through a lot of changes, even in my professional career, where there was an announcement of layoffs, and there were murmurs of downturns or murmurs of layoffs happening in the industry. So when you have that affecting you professionally, and then living in Midland on top of that, where it's a small town when it comes to oil and gas, but then having your husband be away 2 weeks at a time, it got really rough. I'm not gonna lie there. It got really rough because I felt lonely. I felt like I didn't have someone to lean on to during times where I just needed somebody the most. And on top of that, he was working nights. So I joke with everyone that might as well have him work in China. It was definitely not the best experience at the very beginning, to the point where I was even questioning, how am I going to withstand this for a year? But eventually I learned coping mechanisms, and I'm going to share with you what those are today and what I end up doing. So please note that these are things that have helped me and not necessarily supposed to help everybody. But this is what I did in order to get the help that I need, get the self-care that I need, and just talk about, if you're an oilfield wife, how to deal with it. And if you have certain ways of how to cope with it as an oilfield wife, go ahead and comment below. So here's what I did. And I'm going to split this up into quarters. The first quarter was definitely the roughest, or the first couple of months was definitely the roughest, because that is when I was learning about what the rotation means, what it means for him having to work nights, how it is when he wakes up in the afternoon and then I only get a few hours of a window with him before he starts a shift and before he becomes extremely busy throughout the evening. And then by the time I wake up in the morning, he goes to bed. So imagine the lack of communication that happens when it comes to a phone call or when it comes to FaceTime. So what I ended up doing with my husband is that we made sure that we ended up having a FaceTime in the evening, and we had a FaceTime right before he went to bed, or at least a call. Something that also helped me is that I would get up early in the morning to go to an Orange Theory workout or go to a CrossFit workout. So he would be my wake up call at 4:30 a.m. Another thing I did in order to cope with some of the difficulties of having him work on rotations is that I had to change my perspective. For example, I always thought the way I was thinking about it was a glass half empty instead of half full. So, for example, I would say, well, what's the point of him coming back when he's just going to go again? Something that he told me in order to flip it on top of its head is that, so what if he's going away again? He's coming back. So that's another way of seeing the glass half full instead of the glass half empty when it comes to the rotation. I also started focusing on my hobbies a lot more. I started really taking an inventory about my hobbies. You'd make the excuse whenever you're working full time that you don't have time for your hobbies because you're so focused on working. But as layoffs were being announced and as work was slowing down, I had to take a hard look on what my hobbies were and how to maintain my physical health. That gave me the opportunity to focus on my CrossFit, my Orange Theory, my butt at Not Gym, all the things. And I even, like, it was so hard that there were times that I couldn't even do any of those things when he was away. So I had to go get help by talking to people about it, by getting some professional help about it, and then I was able to cope with it a lot better, changing my perspective and just increasing my social interactions and increasing my networking, for the lack of better term, to get that human engagement and to get that social engagement and to even get that professional engagement as well. I think the more you talk about how difficult it can be and how other people have gone through the rotational schedule, then there's people that can empathize with you on that, because we are social creatures at the end of the day. You don't always have to put that battle face on. You don't. And that's something that I had to learn. So eventually I got in touch with my hobbies, and I definitely had to talk to other people and open up about how difficult it could be by having him be away half the time. And then things got a little bit better. After when I got laid off, there was a sense of freedom that I ended up embracing and a sense of inner peace that I ended up getting. The toughest part was imagine being laid off and getting the news when he was on the rig. Like, imagine that. That's exactly what happened. It's not even something to imagine. It is having to cope with that on your own and having to cope with that with not having a significant other nearby. So what I ended up doing at the time was I ended up contacting my parents, and I increased the level of contact that I had with my parents, with my in-laws, and we had a cadence. I would talk to my parents once every few days. I would talk to my in-laws once every week. And we would talk about my emotions. We would talk about what I'm thinking. We would talk about my husband. We would talk about like how to cope with things, and knowing that you have people, you have a support group around you. Sometimes it's hard when your support to reach out to other people of your support group when you're definitely focused and you and your husband are building a life together. So there was that. I will say that after me getting laid off, things definitely took a turn for the positive, in that lots of doors started opening up for me in terms of doing the things that I wanted to do, finding a sense of inner peace, finding a sense of tapping into my own talents that I wasn't able to fully invest in because I was working a corporate job. And I started enjoying the silence, enjoying having him be away, not saying that, oh, he should be away, but I had more of an emotional regulation whenever he was away. And now we're doing things to where we are totally focused on each other and be in tune with each other, mentally and emotionally. And the way we do that is that whenever he comes back, we've actually booked a trip. We've been booking traveling, vacations, every single time he's on his 2 weeks off. So we're going to places all over the United States and all over the world. And I can't wait for the adventures that we have together in building our lives together. But I guess I want to talk about what made it so hard for those of you who can relate or who can't relate. I think what made it really hard is the fact that, you have someone that you really love and you have someone that you really enjoy being with, and all of a sudden they're just not there. So it becomes a shock in terms of, well, your loved one isn't there for a long period of time, for a longer period of time than usual. Like, how are you going to deal with that? And then what also made it hard is this year was in particular hard for me, knowing that there were things up in the air in terms of my job situation and not knowing where the axe was going to fall for a third of the year. So that impacted my mental and physical health quite a bit. But with that being said, I'm on the other side of it now. I'm feeling a whole lot better, and I'm coping with him being away half the time a lot more. And to sum it up, as far as what I ended up doing to make this a thriving experience rather than trying to hang by a thread emotionally, has been really working on my hobbies, seeking external help, like talking to people about it, and then trying to book something special whenever he does come back. Or whenever he does come back from his rotation. Of course, he's going to always come back. The good news is that there's a finish line on this. And the good news of all this is that this rotational schedule is not going to be forever. And I want to know from the oilfield wives that are out there that are listening to this video or that are watching this video, what have you encountered during your rotations or when your husband's gone on rotation? Is it something that you guys have adopted to really easily? Was it a process like mine? Maybe I'm part of the spectrum where it takes a little bit more for me to adapt to things with respect to a rotational schedule compared to something else that can happen in my life. I believe everybody is different in that way. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed listening to this experience, and as much as I enjoyed sharing this experience, it's actually pretty cathartic. And with that being said, as usual, please be sure to like this video, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.